Welcome to Hair, Hormones, and Honest Talk. I'm Esmael Gilis. I've been a hairdresser for 28 years, running the head salon since the 7th of July, 1998. And in those 28 years, the single sentence I have heard most often from women in my chair is this one. It happened so suddenly. It didn't. But I understand exactly why it felt that way. Today we're going to talk about perimenopause hair changes, about why they feel sudden when they're not, about the grief that comes with the sentence, "I miss my old thick hair," and about the realistic first steps that don't insult your intelligence. I'm going to tell you what I look for when a woman sits in my chair and says her part is getting wider. I'm going to tell you what I check before I say anything else. And I'm going to give you a sensible order to work through. Blood work first, dermatologist second, stylist third. In that order, for a reason. But before any of that, I want to say something I think we don't say often enough. The grief is real. "I miss my old thick hair" isn't vanity. Hair is identity. We carry our hair the way we carry our face. We've spent decades being told it tells the world who we are, how well we're sleeping, how healthy we are, how attractive we are, how young we are. And then one morning, in a particular light, in a particular mirror, you cross a threshold you didn't know was there. And the woman looking back has thinner hair than the woman you remember. That's not vanity. That's grief. And any plan that doesn't name it will quietly fail. So let's start there. Here's the first thing I want you to understand. Perimenopause hair changes are not sudden. They feel sudden because we only see them once they cross a visible threshold. The shift has been building for years. Quietly, follicle by follicle, while you carried on with your life, work, kids, parents, the dog, the dishwasher. The change was happening at a scale your eye couldn't detect. And then one morning, in the right light, you cross the threshold, and the change becomes visible all at once. But it wasn't all at once. Why does that matter? Because if you believe it was sudden, you'll look for a sudden cause. You'll blame the new shampoo, the new stress, the color you had done 2 months ago, the supplement you stopped taking, and you'll spend energy on the wrong things. If you understand it's been building for years, you'll look for the right kind of answer, a patient one. 2 things happen during perimenopause that affect hair. The first is shedding. Hairs that should still be in their growing phase enter their resting phase early, and a few months later, they fall out. You see it in the shower, in the brush, on the pillow. The second is harder to spot. It's called miniaturization. Hairs grow back, but they grow back thinner. The follicle is still alive. It's still producing a hair. But each cycle, the hair is slightly finer, slightly shorter, slightly less pigmented. Most women in perimenopause experience both at the same time. They feel similar from the outside. Your hair looks thinner, but they're not the same problem, and the answers aren't identical. Let's get a little more specific about what's happening under the skin, hormonally speaking. Think of your hair follicles as being in a constant conversation with your hormones. For most of your adult life, estrogen has been a key voice in that conversation, telling your follicles to stay in the anagen or growing phase for longer. It's one of the reasons hair is often at its thickest and healthiest during pregnancy when estrogen levels are high. Shedding can resolve. Miniaturization, left alone, usually doesn't. This is one of the reasons I send women to a dermatologist before I touch their hair. Because the answer to, is this shedding or miniaturization or both, isn't something I can give you from a chair, it's a clinical answer. and it determines what's worth your time. As you enter perimenopause, estrogen levels start to fluctuate and decline. This means that protective voice gets quieter. The result is that a higher percentage of your hair follicles move from the growing phase into the resting or telogen phase. A few months later, these hairs are shed. That's the increase in shedding you're seeing in the shower drain. When a woman sits down and tells me she thinks her hair is thinning, there are 3 things I look at before I say anything. 1. Part line width over time. Not how wide it is today, how much wider it's become compared to a photo from a year ago. Most of my clients keep selfies on their phones going back years. We scroll, we compare. Sometimes the answer surprises both of us. 2. Density at the temples. Female pattern hair loss often starts at the front and the temples, not the crown. If the temples are thinning, that's a specific signal, and it changes what I recommend next. 3. Texture at mid-shaft. If the hair feels different halfway down its length compared to near the root, something has changed about how the follicle is producing each strand. That's a miniaturization signal. None of this is a diagnosis. I'm a hairdresser, not a doctor. But it tells me where to send you and what to say.
So here's the order I give every client. First, blood work. Ferritin, vitamin D, thyroid panel, TSH, free T3, free T4, a full hormone panel, sometimes coeliac screening. Your GP can order these. Most will if you ask clearly. If yours won't, it might be time to find one who will, because hair changes without blood work is like trying to fix a car without opening the bonnet. Second, dermatologist. Not a beautician, not a wellness influencer. A dermatologist. Ideally one who specializes in hair and scalp. They can tell you whether what you're experiencing is androgenetic, telogen effluvium, both, or something else entirely. The label matters because the protocol matters. Third, a stylist who actually understands density changes. That's where I come in. Once you know what's happening at the follicle, a good stylist can help you with the part of the equation that's about today. About how you live with the hair you have right now while you wait for slower changes to take effect. Cuts that don't pull. Color that doesn't break. Brush choices that don't stress the shaft. Parting habits that don't accelerate breakage. Blood work. Dermatologist. Stylist. In that order. But I know you didn't come here to wait 6 weeks for an appointment. So here are small things you can do right now. Today, that won't fix anything, but will stop you from making it worse. Wash less aggressively. Sulfate-free shampoo. Lukewarm water. Gentle pressure. If you're scrubbing, you're stressing. Brush less. And when you brush, start from the ends. Work up. Never rip through from the root. Change your parting habit. The hair along your part line takes the most light, the most product, the most stress. If you've parted your hair the same way for 10 years, that's 10 years of accumulated stress on the same handful of follicles. Change the parting every few weeks. Stop the high ponytail, or at least, stop the tight one. Traction damage is real and it's permanent. Look at your scalp, not your hair, your scalp. If it's flaky, oily, itchy, or sore, that's a scalp problem, and no hair routine fixes a scalp problem. These aren't miracles. They won't grow your hair back, but they'll stop you from accidentally making the situation worse while you wait for the appointments that matter. The last thing I want to say is about time. Hair grows about 1 centimeter a month.
That is the number that governs everything. Any protocol you start, minoxidil, finasteride, spironolactone, supplements, a new diet, anything, runs on hair's clock, not yours. That means 3 months before you'll see anything, 6 months before you'll know whether a protocol is actually working, 12 months before you have a real answer. I tell my clients this on day 1, because the women who quit at month 4, and there are a lot of them, are the women who didn't know that month 4 is the hardest month. Month 4 is the month where you've stuck with something long enough to be frustrated and not long enough to see results. If you know it's coming, you can survive it. This is the no easy way. There isn't one, but there is a sensible way, a patient way, a way that respects your intelligence and doesn't promise you something it can't deliver. That's what this podcast is going to be about. If today's episode hit close to home, I made a free guide called the Hair Recovery Starter. It's the first thing I'd hand you if you walked into the salon tomorrow. It walks you through the blood work to ask your GP for, the questions to bring to a dermatologist, and the small things to start today. The link is in the show notes. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'm Esmael Gilis. This was Hair, Hormones, and Honest Talk. I'll see you next week.